Welcome to the Brain Alpha. Have you ever felt like you're putting in all the work day in and day out, but you're just not seeing the results you think you deserve? Well, if that sounds familiar, the next few minutes might just change everything for you. Today, we're diving deep into a principle that is so powerful, it's pretty much the hidden rules separating the ultra successful from everyone else. Darren Hardy's The Compound Effect. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start by blowing up a huge myth about success. Then we'll get into what the compound effect actually is. After that, we'll look at why so many of us, well, fail to use it. And then the good part, the simple formula for success. And finally, how you can actually speed up your own growth. All right, first things first. Let's talk about a problem that is so common. It's that frustrating feeling of spinning your wheels. You're working hard, you're doing all the right things, but you feel like you're getting absolutely nowhere. You know, we're all taught the same thing. Effort equals results. Put in the work, you get the reward. Simple, right? But in the real world, it often feels like you're just pushing a giant boulder up a hill and it's not moving an inch. And this gap, this is where most people get discouraged and just give up, all because they misunderstand how growth really works. See, we expect our progress to look like that chart on the left, a nice, clean, straight line going up. Predictable, but the truth is, real, meaningful success looks a lot more like the chart on the right. There's this long and, let's be honest, frustrating flat line where it feels like nothing is happening. And then, boom, all of a sudden you get this explosive exponential growth. Getting this one visual is the whole key. So, if success isn't a straight line, what path does it follow? What's the hidden force at play? Well, this brings us to the core idea of this whole explainer. It's a law of nature that's always working, whether you see it or not. To really wrap our heads around this, let's try a quick little riddle. Imagine you have a magic coin that doubles every single minute. You put it in a giant jar, and it takes exactly 24 hours to fill the whole thing up. Now here's the question. At what time is that jar only half full? Just think about it for a second. The answer tells you everything you need to know about why we're so bad at judging progress. Wild, isn't it? The jar is half full at 23 hours and 59 minutes, just 1 minute before it's completely full. That means the most dramatic, explosive growth happens right there in the final minute. Get this. For the first 23 hours and 55 minutes, that jar is still less than 3% full. It looks like nothing is happening for almost the entire time. And that riddle is the perfect illustration of the compound effect. It's not about one single heroic action. It's the simple principle of getting huge rewards from a series of small, smart choices that you make consistently over time. It's the engine of success, and successful people get this. They leverage it. Most people, though, they don't even notice it's happening until it's way too late. Okay, so if this principle is so incredibly powerful, and it's available to literally everyone, why aren't more people rich, healthy, and happy? Well, it usually comes down to 3 major mental traps that keep people stuck. And you know what's crazy? These 3 things create this vicious cycle. We want results now, so we can't be bothered with the slow, too simple actions. And because we ignore those little actions, we never build the momentum needed for true wealth, which just sends us looking for another quick fix. It's a treadmill of failure. I mean, let's be real. Our entire culture has trained us to be impatient. We've got microwaves, next-day delivery, AI that gives us answers in seconds. We've been programmed to think that big success should also be fast. But that's a dangerous lie, and it's probably the #1 reason people quit right before they're about to see that massive growth curve. So what's the solution? Well, here's the most important thing to get. Success isn't about some huge, dramatic leap. It's all about a simple, almost boring formula that you can start using today. This is it. This is the whole secret right here. Small, smart choices plus consistency plus time always equals a radical difference. It's not magic, it's just math. But here's the part you can't forget. This formula is neutral. It works just as powerfully with small, bad choices. Let me tell you a quick story to make this crystal clear. Let's say we have 2 friends, Scott and Brad. They're basically identical in every way. Same job, same income, same family life. Scott decides to make a few tiny positive changes. Nothing crazy. Meanwhile, Brad makes a few tiny, seemingly harmless bad choices. Now here's the part where we all get tripped up. After 5 months, you can't tell them apart. Their lives look exactly the same. Even after a year and a half, the changes are so small you'd barely notice.
This is that long, flat time lag we talked about. This is where 99% of people think this isn't working and they quit.
But then you fast forward to about 2.5 years, and bam, the compound effect becomes impossible to ignore. Scott's lost 15 kilos, he got a promotion at work, and his marriage is better than ever. Brad? He's gained 15 kilos, his work is suffering, and things at home are tense. That is a 30-kilo difference, all from tiny choices that seemed totally insignificant in the moment. Okay, so we get it. The principle is powerful. We've seen the proof. So the big question now is, how do we make it work for us faster? How do we accelerate our growth and get to that explosive part of the curve sooner? Well, there are 3 key ways to do it. Think of these as the turbo boosters for the compound effect. First, you've got to master your habits. That means stopping the bad ones before you even think about starting good ones. Then you learn to push just a little bit harder. And finally, you bring other people into the equation to multiply your efforts. Now, if you're wondering where on earth to start, focus on these 2 habits. They create the biggest ripple effects in your life. First, your health, your diet, your sleep, your exercise. That's your energy. It's like upgrading your car's engine. And second, input, what you feed your mind. Reading, listening, learning. This gives you the knowledge to make those small, smart choices to begin with. And this right here is the secret to going from slow progress to explosive growth. Think about being at the gym. You've hit your goal of 10 reps. Your muscles are burning. You want to stop, but that 11th rep, that's where the real growth happens. It's that little bit of extra effort that signals to your mind and body that it's time to level up. And finally, you just can't achieve massive success all by yourself. It doesn't work that way. To get other people to want to help you, to cheer for you, you have to become a person of value first. That means always doing a little more than expected, doing things in a unique way that makes you stand out, and always giving value to others before you ever ask for anything in return. So here's what this all boils down to. Your life, right now, is nothing more than the sum of all the tiny choices you've made up to this point. But the amazing news is that you can start a brand new compound curve, a new trajectory for your entire life, starting right now with just one small positive choice. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and help us build the hype. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.